We have joining us now on the program Barrister Deji Adeyanju. He is an activist and, of course, a lawyer, part of the legal council of the organized labor. Barrister Adeyanju, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on Daily Politics. I don't know if Barrister Adeyanju could hear me. Hello, Barrister Adeyanju, can you hear me?
Yes, good evening. I can hear you.
Yeah,
can
okay.
You hear
So
me?
the question I would like us to start is looking at the legality of what is happening. There are people on one side who say Ajero, the NLC, the organized labor is under attack. The government is trying to intimidate them, right? And on the other side, you have a lot of people who are saying, well, listen, there's nothing extraordinary about what is happening. It's not as if he's been there is any extrajudicial activity here. He's just been questioned, and this is all a part of the process. What is your take on what is going on right now? Do you think there's a violation of human rights involved?
Of course, there is a violation of human rights. There are no two sides. There are nobody on one side and nobody on the other side. I know that there's a need to always balance interviews and all that. I think that's exactly what you're doing, and you're doing a great job. No, but there are no two sides at all. Just one side: the Nigerian people versus the tyrannical regime of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a regime that hates dissent, a regime that hates people who speak truth to power, like Comrade Ajero, the NLC president, the Comrade president, and also a regime that just is hell-bent on shrinking civil space, shrinking the rights of citizens, and attacking freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of the press. This government reminds me of that of Hitler. First people think that, oh, this is all about Joe Ajero. No, it's not about Joe Ajero. Before they come to the press, they first go for the critics. They go for opposition leaders. They go for trade unions. Before you know what, they will attempt to amend the constitution. Then they will now create concentration camps where they begin to kill people. This is the same template. It's a universal template used by dictators and tyrants. There's no basis, there's no ground whatsoever to arrest Joe Ajero. There's no basis, there's no ground whatsoever to arrest 2004 protesters. Even the military did not do it. There's no basis, there's no ground to arrest journalists, to kill protesters and bad governance protesters. There's no ground, there's no justification to increase fuel price, which is what the current president is asking for a reversal. It is within his constitutional right. He is the leader of the labor movement in Nigeria. And it is unthinkable that anyone will even attempt to justify the illegality of the Bola Ahmed regime. Truly, truly despicable, to say the least.
Right. Barrister, just to clarify on the legal aspect of this particular conversation, how is his arrest and questioning by DSS any different from any other person, former governor, former minister, or serving governor who is being investigated, or a senator? How is this any different? Why should Joe Ajero get some kind of special treatment because he's the NLC president? I mean, we're talking about alleged terrorism, financing, subversion, and a variety of other issues that we know that was, the reason for his invitation by the Nigerian police just a little over a week ago.
That is not correct. That is not true. He has nothing. In fact, I was part of the team that went to the police. In fact, the police were apologizing that he has no connection whatsoever with anything to do with any terrorism financing. He was the one that even put the question, so why invite me in the first place? You say somebody you're investigating is living in the labor house. I was not the one who rented the labor house to him in the first place. Why did you invite me? Why did you even write this disrespectful and despicable letter to me? Why did you do that? Why do you have to write a letter and link my name to terrorism financing? These are the issues. Joe Ajero has not committed any crime. We know why Joe Ajero is being harassed. It is because Tinubu is going to look for third term. He's going to try and amend the constitution. This is how dictators operate all over universally. Nobody is asking for any preferential treatment for Joe Ajero. What we are saying as a country is that we cannot allow a situation where dictators will hold sway in our country. Why the 80-something people were killed in Yobe? Why is the Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime not angry? Why has nobody been arrested or invited by DSS or the security agencies? 40 people were killed, or 30-something people were killed in Niger just 2 days ago. Why are they not angry about that? Why are they angry with organized labor? You know, so these are the issues. Nobody has the time to be answering any question that supports tyranny whatsoever.
So Barrister, you don't believe that the process, the law would be followed to the latter in this process when it comes to investigation, when it comes to getting to the bottom of the truth? You don't think that the process would clear him if he's actually innocent?
There is no even crime. There's no basis to invite Joe Ajaero in the first place. That's what I'm telling you. The man said you should reverse fuel increment. You invite him with DSS. The protesters said you should end bad governance. You tag them for treason. Is this a country? Is this how to run a country? Is this a democracy? What is the difference between this regime of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the military? What is the difference?
Right, okay. Let me just bring back Issa Sanusi, the country director of Amnesty International Nigeria, back into the conversation. You heard what Barrister Deji Adeyanju had to say about the entire process. I think the Hitler comparison was quite extreme, but that is his position. Let me get your take about, Labour's reaction to this. Isn't it a bit presumptive? I mean, the three of you seem to have established that he's innocent. Right, and that is what we have in the interpretation of the law. He's innocent until proven guilty. Isn't it a bit presumptuous to assume that the state is going after him? And do you see a nexus, a connection between the presidency and what the operatives of the DSS and any other security authority is doing out there with regards to this particular case?
Well, I believe that what happened to the Labour leader can never be justified, and I believe that the Nigerian authorities are just trying to intimidate and harass and make sure that the NLC is unable to take any Labour action or to carry out any activity legitimately guaranteed by its constitution. Therefore, I think there is no need trying to bring the comparison of what is happening to Joe Ajaero with arrest of other people. We know many people who have, almost destroyed this country, and they are free people. They are moving around. They are traveling. They are doing everything with nobody even talk to them. So why is this attempt targeted at the Labour Union? Why?
I mean, is it the Labour Union or just Joe Ajaero? I mean,
and their families have to pay ransom to get them. This is a country in which you cannot travel at night. This is a country where no matter where you are, you don't have peace of mind because you are afraid that criminals will kill you. This is a country where bandits are on social media displaying stash of cash they have taken for ransom for abducting people. So why is the government wasting time on people who are law-abiding citizens doing a legitimate work of protecting the rights of workers? Therefore, I don't think there is any need to put this within the prism of the comparison with other cases. I don't think it's fair to do this.
Okay, Barrister Ajayanju, just back to you for a moment before we go back to Comrade Benson Upah on this one. Isn't it a fact that we don't know what the authorities know at the moment, so we can't jump to conclusion about what the facts are?
We do know that the authorities know nothing. That's one thing I can tell you. The authorities know nothing. I was there, Femi Falana was there, and several other lawyers, Mr. Maxwell was there. All of us were there. And the question was put to the security agencies. It was not just the police, it was a coalition of security agencies who came including the DSS, everybody was there. Why did you write this letter? Why did you write this letter of invitation? Oh, we are looking for a man. We're looking for a man in a labor house. They're just beating around. In fact, they ended up apologizing. They ended up apologizing for writing the letter, the wordings of the letter. You know, our people have a proverb that a witch cried yesterday night and a child died this morning. The man said you should reverse fuel. The man said they will shut down the country if you don't reverse fuel. The next day, after they've given ultimatum, the next day you arrested him. Serap, now what wrong has Serap done? Serap gave 48 hours ultimatum, you raided their office. So we must just stop justifying rubbish and illegality and criminality on the part of the government. You understand? These are rogues. These are buccaneers who are in government, who mean no well for this country, who want to sink Nigeria into the precipice, who their sole aim and purpose of coming into governance is to balkanize the nation, is to dehumanize people, is to violate people's rights, people's fundamental rights and freedoms, is to ensure that because look at a nation where Yahya Bello is above the law is where you are telling us that the government.
Barrister, I'm not sure you're correct on that point. Yahya Bello is a wanted man. Yahya Bello is a wanted man, isn't it? How is a wanted man above the law?
Is above the law. Yahya Bello is not any wanted man. Yahya Bello is above the law. Yahya Bello is not a wanted man. That's what they are telling you. Yahya Bello is not a wanted man. He's above the law. And if he's not above the law, let them go arrest him. They know where he is. Why are you harassing labor leaders? Why are you harassing protesters? Why are you harassing journalists?
Okay. I think there's a lot of unanswered questions in there, which I think would warrant for a doubling down of this conversation much longer. But before we wrap things up, do we still have the head of information of the NLC on the line, Comrade Benson Upah? If you're still there, I just want to talk about the ultimatum. You did talk about 12 midnight being the deadline that you've given the government to release the NLC president. What comes next if they don't? Okay, I'm afraid I think we lost the connection there to Comrade Benson Upah. But speaking to the country director of Amnesty International, Issa Sanusi, your thoughts on, the labor leader or the leadership of the organized labor weaponizing the labor movement itself or the institutionality of organized labor to defend just one person. I mean, just as Barrister Adeyanju was saying there are several cases of extrajudicial attacks and things like that. There are a lot of people who are within the system who are not getting fair trial. It does appear that Joe Ajaero is enjoying some kind of support that most Nigerians can't enjoy simply because he is the NLC president. Do you think that that's fair?
Yeah, I believe that you made this point earlier in this interview, and I think it's very unfair to say that, and I don't think the comparison is acceptable, because let me tell you something. No one says that if Joe Ajaero has committed any crime, when you are accusing somebody, the first thing is for you to do your investigation. There is no way arrest can come before investigation. You do your investigation, then you carry out an arrest. Now, if they have any evidence against him, what we are even saying is that they should sue him. They should take him to court. And if they even want to see him in jail, they can even ask the judges to expedite the trial and convince him.
Right.
So why on earth would the Nigerian government just arrest him a day after giving the government ultimatum to reverse the fuel price increase?
Yeah, okay.
Is that a crime? It is not a crime. So why is the government stopping him from traveling to a labor event while people who have stolen billions are there traveling in and out of the country as they like? Why? What kind of animal farm are we living in? What kind of animal farm are we seeing in this country? I think it's unfair to compare Ajaero's situation with other people, because he is being intimidated and harassed for standing up for workers' rights, and that is unacceptable. And we hope that the Nigerian government will see reason and stop this unacceptable and a kind of show of impunity that we have never seen in any civilian role in this country.
Okay, let's just say allegedly, because the authorities would differ on so many of those points that you just made. But before we go, just say yes or no. Looking at the invasion of the office of Serap earlier in the day, do you worry about your own safety, your organization, because you have been in the bad books of the authorities for quite some time? Are you worried about your own safety?
I like the fact that you use the word bad books. Actually, we are worried about our country. I don't think myself personally, I don't think I worry about myself, but I worry about my country.
Right.
I want Nigeria to be a peaceful, human rights respecting country. And we will continue to do legitimately, we will continue to seek change, and no any intimidation or harassment will stop us.
Okay. We're going to have to leave it here for now. Issa Sanusi, Country Director, Amnesty International, Barrister Deji Adeju, activist. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. We also appreciate Comrade Benson Upah for giving us insight into this developing issue. And more importantly, thank you for being a part of the conversation tonight. We do appreciate you for your time and company. Feel free to follow us across our social media platforms to stay in touch. You can also visit our website, trusttv.com, to stay in touch with the latest. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. From myself and the rest of the team, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.